What's up, y'all? I'm back at it again. This is actually part 2 of plugging into the marriage covenant, so let's get straight into it. The fourth key is called the law of departure, Matthew 19 verse 5 through 6. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. In this verse, you find the primary requirement for a husband and a wife to become one, and that's leaving their mother and father. Before marriage, you must sever all connections with your parents, meaning mindsets they might have taught you, influence that they've had over your decision making, and anything that'll hinder you and your partner from single-handedly establishing a home completely independent from the influence of the parents. Anything that would be a hindrance to the husband and wife from coming into agreement concerning all things must be severed. This doesn't mean that you have nothing to do with your parents anymore. It simply means that you and your partner have to develop the ability to make decisions independent of parents and accept the responsibility for those decisions. Until the door is shut against every form of interference in the home, you cannot get the best out of marriage. When this law is broken, the enemy is given an open door to cause division in the home. The author testified and said, his wife and him are absolutely responsible for all decisions that affects them, and he said everyone else only gets the end result. He said there's no need in talking to anybody about the decisions that him and his household makes. The couple's ability to leave their father and mother determines the magnitude that they can become one. The fifth and final key is romance. God's idea for reproduction comes within the confines of a marriage between a husband and a wife. 1 Corinthians 7, 3 through 5. Let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto her husband. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not. So many homes are broken today because of the lack of understanding of this concept. The moment a home becomes deficient in romance or sex, it begins to break. So a sexual relationship is God's approved channel, not just to create children, but to deepen the relationship and intimacy of the husband and wife. So I'm going to cover the 5 keys to plugging into the marriage covenant that are mutual responsibilities of both the husband and the wife. Key 1, covenant mentality, which comes strictly from each individual's personal relationship with God and their commitment to study and apply the word. Key 2, the acquisition of wisdom. If you ever fail to acquire new knowledge in your relationship, you've failed to sustain it successfully. Key 3, the law of agreement. When you and your spouse master the ability to agree, not just in daily affairs, but on the word, you've guaranteed yourselves to be in harmony. Key 4, the law of departure. Remove all forms of influence that your parents had or anybody else has over decision making to position yourselves to completely become one. And key 5, sex. Sex in marriage is just as important as prayer, and without it, the tempter has a foot in your marriage. So sit down with your husband, sit down with your wife, sit down with your significant other who you plan on getting married to, and meditate on these keys, which are covenant plugins, and pray that God give you both the burden of responsibility to apply these. These 5 keys alone, if agreed upon and applied, will shut the doors to the enemy in your home and catapult your marriage to heights you haven't seen. Though these 5 keys are covenant plugins, this is the foundation of a marriage. In the next videos, you discover the individual covenant responsibilities of both the husband and the wife. Knowing both your mutual responsibilities and your individual responsibilities in doing them is what guarantees without exception an ever-increasing marriage. So stay tuned and comment ways that you've discovered personally help your wife or your husband aid in becoming one flesh. Until next time.